I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
So my name is Willem and I'm the co-founder of Midian, and we make a wireless MIDI trigger controller to help musicians trigger all kinds of software, all different effects. And so recently, I've just been working on marketing, working on the website, and yeah, seeing how we can get our name out there.
What kind of got you started in making this product?
Yeah, so I went to Cedarville University in Ohio, and my junior year, one of my friends, Cedarville's a Christian university, and one of my friends was studying worship music, and he had this little device that had three switches, and it was a foot switch box, and he would use it to trigger backtracks and
Hmm.
in-ear clicks for his when he would lead worship at his church. And so he brought it to my room. He thought it was broken. I'm a computer engineer, so he's like, "Ah, I bet Willem can fix it." So he brought it in. Just ended up being a loose screw on the inside, but I took it apart and I was like, "Wow, this is really simple." And so we got talking more about the device, and he mentioned how it really wasn't his ideal solution
Hmm.
because he would be up playing acoustic guitar and then he'd be hitting foot switches. And a lot of people would wonder, like, why are you hitting foot switches when you're playing an acoustic guitar? I thought you don't need those.
Yep.
And then you like go into the next song and you can get kind of stressed. You have to look down, make sure you hit the right button. So really just not the ideal solution. So I was like,
Hmm.
well, there's gotta be a there has to be a wireless one online. Like with all the research I've done for other things that I've thought like, oh, this has to exist. And
Hmm.
usually it does. So we were scouring online trying to find some wireless thing that he could use. And surprisingly, we couldn't find any. And then Cedarville had a the pitch Shark Tank type competition coming
Hmm.
up. And I had done that my freshman year. And then this year, I had known the organizers of it, and they were looking for more people to do pitches. I was like, oh, this is a good idea, so I might as well pitch that one.
Hmm.
So that was kind of the origin of it. And then, long story short, ended up doing working with the idea as a senior design project with some engineering peers my senior year, and then a couple of us have kept trying to we developed it, and we're just trying to advertise and sell it now that we've graduated.
That's so fun. I love that it came from you trying to help a friend.
It yeah, that it was definitely very satisfying when he first got to use one and kind of get his feedback and hear the different ways that he's been able to use it for what he does.
Hmm. So, were you always interested in creating something for live music? Like, did you think you would want to do that or it just kind of happened?
It just kind of happened. So I've always liked making things.
Hmm.
In kindergarten, if you would have well, in first grade, if you would have asked me what I wanted to do, I'd say an inventor. In kindergarten, I probably would have said a surfer. I never surfed, but for some reason, that's probably what I would have said. Anyway, first grade, I knew that I wanted to be an inventor and make stuff. So that ended up with me studying engineering in college. And this was just kind of, yeah, the idea came and kind of all the steps presented itself for me to follow it through.
Hmm. So, for somebody who is like looking at your product and has never really used anything similar to it before, what kind of advice would you give them, or like how would you pitch your product to them?
Yeah. So there's a lot of just niche situations where people do something and they don't really realize there's a better way
Hmm.
or that something could be changed. So what our product does is it just controls software. I like to call like a PowerPoint clicker for musicians. It's
Hmm.
like a PowerPoint clicker, you think it's fancy. It just sends like left and right arrow keys, and PowerPoint knows what to do with that. And so it's the same thing for us. We just send
Hmm.
some signals and you can tell your software what to do for it. Um, and so kind of what you would do with that, some common things and some things from people I've talked to that have been using it is the most classic thing is just triggering tracks. Say you're like a live singer at a restaurant and it's just you, so you're going to be singing over some sort of backing music,
Hmm.
and you need a way to start that off. So you're going to have your software that's going to have all these preloaded songs, and you're going to have some song list, and you either need somebody with you to start that off, or you have like a laptop with you up wherever you're singing. But then you have to keep going over to the laptop. That's kind of distracting. Like, do you really want to have a laptop up there with you while you're in some nice restaurant singing? And so, like with our device, you could just hit a button and trigger the next thing off. My friend that I mentioned earlier, who helped me have the idea, he worked at a camp this summer or
Hmm.
last summer, and he was helping teach kids music. And so him and his band would kind of rotate kids into their lineup. So they would like have the kids learn the part, and then
Hmm.
they would have maybe the five of them, and they would switch out like the keys player and the drum kit player with the two kids that come play with the band. And he would always be walking around to different parts of the stage, talking with kids, trying to teach them, show them what to do. And he wanted a way to keep controlling his tracks. He would like keep looping to the beginning, restart the song, restart a specific point, and before, you just have to walk back to the laptop every single time he wanted to trigger off the next track. With the Midian Prime, he can just hit a button, he can be wherever he needs to be and trigger that off.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of those niche things where it's like, yes, you could just walk over to a laptop and hit a button. But again, in a PowerPoint, like if you're a speaker giving a presentation, do you want to go walk over to a laptop
Hmm.
and trigger like and do a slide? You can, but it's really not the best. And so same thing for music is you don't really a lot of times you don't want to be go hitting laptop buttons while you're on stage. You don't want to
Hmm.
be looking down and trying to make sure you hit the right foot switch when you're performing.
Hmm. So, for somebody who's not like comfortable with technology, would it be easy enough for them to program?
So the biggest thing is that depends on the software, and everybody has kind of the different software they like.
Hmm.
So Ableton Live is a big one. Logic Pro is a big one. Our device, you plug it in. There's no drivers. We try to make it as easy as possible. So you plug it in, it connects, and then most of the software is easy to train where you just hit a button and then you're like, oh, I want the play button to do something. So you click on the play button, you hit the thing on your controller, and then you map that to your controller.
Hmm.
So it's just a pretty easy mapping of functions. And a lot of people do this already with different MIDI interfaces they
Yeah.
have and the foot switches. So I figured it out. Though sometimes some of them are harder to figure out than others, but watch a YouTube video. We're coming out with some videos showing how to use it with different softwares. But yeah, definitely not as complicated as it sounds.
Hmm. So, now that you've kind of invented this one device, are you going to do more things in the music industry or are you looking kind of elsewhere?
So we'll just kind of see. Right now, we're just focused on the one product. So if we don't have business making a second one if we can't sell the first one. Um, but I mean, it would be cool to make follow-up devices, definitely. And yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens.
That makes sense. Yeah, you got to see what happens before you can't put the cart before the horse, as they
Nope,
say.
definitely not. Definitely not.
So, how would it empower musicians like going forward if they use this device?
Again, so dependent on the use case, and we've heard so many
Hmm.
different use cases from people that we've talked to. Um, but the biggest thing is, I guess the biggest purpose behind kind of the usage of the device is just your audience engagement.
Hmm.
Like we want you to engage with the audience and look at them and talk with them and like maintain that eye contact, maintain that interaction, and not have to worry about hitting a laptop button, hitting a foot switch button, moving your eyes somewhere other than the audience to
Hmm.
do what you need to do. And a lot of solutions, a lot of like current solutions would be, oh, I need to look down. I need to break that engagement. I need to walk over to a specific spot on stage to do a thing. And that can dampen your audience engagement. So what we really want to see is we want a musician to be able to stay fully engaged with the audience,
Hmm.
not have to worry about walking over to a spot, making sure they're hitting the right button, but just where they could reach down to a little device on their hip, feel the button correctly, and trigger off whatever they need to do next. So
Yeah.
we want technology to be seamless. So much technology is harder than it needs to be. As a computer engineer, I can attest we do not need a computer in everything. There are things that have screens that should not have screens. So we just want to make things simple and easy to use and let people focus on the human engagement and not on their technology engagement.
Hmm. So now switching into music a little bit, who are some of your favorite artists?
Honestly, I feel like I just get into different modes of different genres that I'm listening to.
Hmm.
Um, a couple years ago, I started listening to a lot of reggaeton.
Hmm.
So really enjoy reggaeton. I know no Spanish, which is almost better because then I listen to reggaeton while I'm doing work and I don't get distracted by lyrics, but I'm just vibing with the music. So listen to a bunch of reggaeton. Um, there's a Christian reggaeton guy, Kenny Rivers, that I've listened to. I like him. Um, and listen to a decent bit of dance music.
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of a newer thing. Listening to a bit more like electronic dance music is kind of fun. My brother doesn't really like when I play it, but that's fine.
That doesn't matter.
Um, no. So those are some of the bigger ones. I always like Celtic music, something kind of chill in the morning.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
I like it. You have a wide variety that you listen to.
always got to keep a variety. Always got to keep a variety.
I like that you're able to listen to music that you don't understand. I think that's like so special about music is you don't need to know what someone's saying to know
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
mean.
And even to like listen to music and I'm like, I don't know what this guy's saying, but like I know this is good quality music.
Hmm.
Like I know that people put effort into it because I can hear that, I can feel that, even if
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying.
And you can feel what he's saying.
Yeah, a lot of well, some of the time.
Yeah.
I still do not. Yeah, there's a lot of Spanish songs. I really don't know what's happening, but I can feel the emotion. I don't know what he's saying, but I can yeah, you can
Yeah.
feel the emotion.
I mean, that's the unique thing about music. You don't have to understand what they're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah,
a,
I do.
a love song is going to sound the same in every language. It's going to evoke the same feeling,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, for the most part, you can usually tell.
Hmm. Like, I feel like that's probably the easiest one in
Yeah.
different languages.
Yeah, one of my friends in college was Egyptian, and so he played me like a Egyptian Arabic love song, and I was like,
Hmm.
you can definitely tell like stylistically and everything. That's what it was.
Yeah, there's such a unique style to that. I feel like sometimes with other like styles of songs, it's harder. But
Yeah, it definitely depends kind of on the specific thing that's happening.
hmm. Yeah. So before I ask the last question, is there anything else you want to mention or talk about?
Um, if anybody's kind of interested in the product, we'd love to have you reach out. You can go on our website. We got like a contact form on the contact page. I can give you the contact email too if you want to put that in the show notes. But yeah, if people have ideas for how they can use the device, we'd love to help. So that's the biggest thing is sometimes it's hard when people ask like what's like what does it do? I was like, well, it totally depends on what you want to do with it. And usually we talk to somebody and they come up with something that we had never even thought of before. So if anybody wants to know if they can use the device for their specific situation, we'd love to be able to talk with them and try and figure something out.
That's awesome. What are some of the like cool things people have used it for that you weren't expecting?
So I think one of the coolest ones, which we shipped it. This was actually another podcast guy that I've been talking to, and I haven't heard that he's actually done it yet. So I can't 100% confirm that he got it to work with his setup. But something he mentioned was he plays electric guitar,
Hmm.
and for like live shows, he'll if when he goes for solo, he needs to volume up his guitar. So he has his like footboard in front of him. He hits whatever button to volume up his guitar, and then he walks to the front of the stage. And so while he's at the front of the stage, he's not by his pedal board.
Hmm.
So he does his solo for however long, and then he finishes his solo, but his volume is still up, and he needs to put his volume down.
Yep.
So like right now, he rushes back to his pedal board so he can volume down. But it's not really ideal because he'd rather like be able to
Enjoy the moment.
enjoy the moment and like go to the side of the stage, go wherever with like again the audience engagement, wherever it makes sense for him to be, that's where we want him to be.
Hmm.
And so if he could reach to his hip and hit a button instead of having to rush back to the pedal board to volume down, that would really like free him up engagement wise to interact
Hmm.
with the audience, kind of how the situation presents itself. And so that's something I don't play guitar. So that was something I never really realized was a concern, but I
Hmm.
was like, oh, that totally makes sense. Like, I think it'll work for that. You should
Yeah.
totally try it and let us know how it goes.
I hope it works for him.
Yeah, hopefully, I'm excited to hear from him. I just sent him a follow up email a couple days ago, I think. So Should be hearing back pretty soon.
Yeah, that's a good use for it.
Yeah,
It's all the little things you don't think about
I
because
know.
you're so used to doing things one way, and then when another way is shown, you're like, oh, that makes
And
sense.
the best solutions are the solutions to things like the small annoyances you don't even realize you have.
Hmm.
And then like, oh, this is like when something changes and you're like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
For yeah, just for anything.
Hmm.
I don't know any good examples at the moment, but you know what I mean.
I do. I think everyone has like something that someone showed them a new way or whatever, and it changed everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
I think the biggest thing, yeah, just through the whole journey, keeping going. Um, I'm a Christian, so definitely like I feel like I've seen God's faithfulness through what we've been doing, and just like keep stepping through doors, keep going forward. Um, yeah, life's kind of a journey. So as the music changes, as stuff changes, to keep going forward. Don't give up. Obviously, success is never guaranteed, but if you give up, it's definitely guaranteed that it won't happen.
That's very
So
true.
if you want something to happen, you just keep working at it, and maybe it won't happen, maybe it will. But if you stop, it's never going to happen.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing is for me, trust God, keep going forward, and yeah, just kind of see what happens.
That's a good soundtrack. Very positive.
That's that's what we aim for. That's what we aim for. Because sometimes life doesn't feel positive, but
Yeah, but
gotta,
you have to
yeah, just
try.
gotta keep going. Gotta keep going.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so for all of our listeners who want to check out the product, maybe pitch some ideas to you about how they could use it, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, so the website is Midian, Midian.live. And then you can email us at contact@midian.live. Yeah, so email us. We'd love to get back to you and try and figure out how we can help you out.
Perfect. Well, have a nice rest of your day.
You too. Thanks for chatting.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.